The number 13 overall seed Florida hosts Oklahoma, Liberty, and Central Michigan in what looks like on paper to be the toughest regional there is, with any of these teams being able to get out of it. With Central Michigan as the 4, that is a brutal draw for Florida, where you're looking for a 4 seed to be that easy win to get you into that winner's side, but it may not be that easy for them because Central Michigan is a team that can put up some good numbers. But Oklahoma, Liberty, also 2 other teams at 19 and 31 in the RPI respectively. Both of these teams could have easily been 2 seeds, with Liberty slipping to 3. That is really not what you like to see from Florida, who is putting together a pretty good run, but this regional is really stacked.
Yeah, Florida was a borderline host heading into the last week, and they make it to the SEC championship game in that tournament. Ultimately proven to be enough to get a hosting spot, but they are compensated with one of the most brutal regionals on the schedule. They're paired up with Oklahoma, who just won the Big 12 tournament and should absolutely be hosting their own regional. They're also paired up with Liberty as a 3 seed, and that Liberty squad already beat Florida in a weekend series this year. And then, like you mentioned, you look for an easy matchup with the 4 seed, but this is an experienced Central Michigan team with a legit Friday ace in Andrew Taylor, who has almost 120 strikeouts on the season. Yeah, this should be an exciting regional.
Yeah, and when you have an ace like that in the 4 spot, it really forces your hand from Florida, where a lot of 1 seeds may be resting their best guy for the weekend once they get into winners. But when you're playing tough competition like that, it makes you kind of have to spend your arms early, and that's always very difficult for a team because that just means getting that 1 seed isn't actually that valuable in the spot that they're in. But they have the most potent offenses with 40 more home runs than the next team pretty much. So they should be there hoping that their bats can really get going. And if they're able to follow that, they can definitely beat out all these teams. But all these teams, like we said, are good and good enough to win the regional. But Oklahoma winning their tournament, definitely there was potential of them hosting because the announcements are made earlier than the final game gets finished. That obviously wasn't even an option for them, unfortunately, but getting put in this regional, it's definitely winnable for Oklahoma, but it's going to be an absolute gauntlet to get there.
Yeah, you mentioned Florida is going to have to spend those number 1 arms on the Friday game against Central Michigan since they are a viable 4 seed. And my personal pick to come out of this regional is Oklahoma with how hot they've been to close the regular season, winning that Big 12 tourney. And I honestly think this may be back-to-back years that Florida hosts and doesn't even make it to the final of their own regional.
Yeah, definitely they could even go 0-2 like we saw previously, which is just brutal and you never want to see as the host. But they could also come out and be the victors of this. They have one of the best pitching staffs overall, but they really need to be on the top of their game to be able to compete with the other teams in the regional. Thank you for watching and listening. If you enjoyed, we would really appreciate a like and subscribe for more weekly college baseball content.